Question: have you ever had something amazing happen that's much more than a coincidence, but just short of a miracle? Our first guests call it a Godwink. Ever since coining the phrase, Squire Rushnell and his wife Louise Duarte have chronicled inspirational stories in their New York Times best-selling series of Godwink books and movies. Their latest book is Godwinks for Moms, highlighting true stories from over 35 mothers. Squire and Louise stopped by to share how this phenomenon provides joy and relief even when people are going through tough times. Squire and Louise, we want to reintroduce you to people who might not know who you are. But Squire, New York Times bestselling author, speaker, veteran TV executive, 75 Emmy Awards, just a few.
I can't count that.
Where do you have them all, by the way? I have my like 8 or 9 like proudly in one spot in the living room. All right, and Louise, you are one of the best comedic impressionist and speaker and TV host. You two actually met kind of by a Godwink, if you will.
Oh, we did. Everything, our whole life is a Godwink. Everything we encounter every single day. Our Godwinks, those little experiences people thought were coincidence, but we know came from divine origin.
You know, what's interesting, as we live our lives forward, we understand it backwards. When I look back and see how God put Squire in the perfect place at the perfect time for us to meet. And at that time, you know, he was just my boss at ABC, and then it wasn't until 20 years later we met up again.
You again?
Yes. And then we got married.
All right. Explain to people what a Godwink is. I use it so many times when I'm talking to people, and they go, Godwink, oh, I love that, because it is like an epiphany in a sense. But explain how you came across the idea of Godwink.
I was always fascinated with coincidence stories, and until I looked up the word coincidence in the dictionary, and that says 2 remarkable events that come together without apparent cause. I thought, well, that isn't what we're talking about. We're talking about something with cause, 2 remarkable events that come together with the cause, and it's divine. So we had no idea at the time that we were actually filling a vacancy in the language. But after we did that first book, which was called When God Winks, you know, more than 20 years ago now, we realized that people started using it. They showed us that it was a vacancy in the language. So now, with the help of 4 Hallmark movies and a Netflix movie and 13 books, you know, people are getting it, and you talking about it.
Yeah, because I was with you from the beginning. I was like, this is great. You know, you mentioned earlier when you look back, you see things and go, oh, now I see that there's a little divine intervention there. But how can we start recognizing Godwinks when they happen?
Well, there's a little secret people can do is when a Godwink happens at the right place, right time, or you're thinking about someone and all of a sudden the phone rings. You say, I was just thinking about you. I haven't seen you in 5 years. What you have to do is write it down and make like a little archaeological list through your life. Like when you were a kid, you had Godwinks. Think back at those little times when you met the love of your life, or you got the job. So start writing them down. And if you write them down every day, when you look back a couple of weeks later, you'll
have your own book of Godwinks.
You do. Right? You say, wow.
You'll be amazed at how often God speaks to you.
Yes.
We have when I pray, I'm talking to God. When he talks to me, it's a Godwink. That's one of the principles. But what that means is that when God is talking to you through Godwinks, it's one of 8 billion people on the planet. How special are you to get that person-to-person call?
Yeah, I want that phone plan.
That's right.
That works every time. All right. As you mentioned, you have all these books now. You even did one called Dogwinks. You know, so many people had such great stories about how their dogs really made a profound difference in their life at that one moment where there was a dog wink.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And a movie after that, by the way.
And well, you know, that really all started with my wife. We were in our morning prayer time. We came out of that prayer time, and I swear God is speaking to her during that prayer time. She said, I think we ought to do a book about dogs.
And Squire said, honey, we don't even have a dog. I said, I know, but I just feel like we're supposed to do that. So he said, well, where are we going to find the stories? This is, again, Godwink, divine alignment. The next day, I open up my Facebook. There's a post that says, hey, have you guys seen this incredible story about a dog named Ruby and a canine officer? And this canine officer gets this dog out of a shelter, and the most amazing Godwinks happen. And we read the story in the newspaper. We called up the canine officer. We got the story. We pitched it to Netflix. They absolutely loved it. It was the #1 family movie in the world on networks called Rescued by Ruby.
And 100 million views in the first 365 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know?
And just how you have things come to you like that about the dog wings, you're like, okay, moms,
Yes.
right? Because there's always, and so show us the book right here, Godwinks for Moms, True Stories of those moments of that God intervened. And you have one that just, it breaks my heart and heals my heart all at the same time. Share that story with us about.
Oh, well, that's a story of Mary Alexander. Mary had 2 sons, and but she came to the stark realization that this Mother's Day, she was only going to get 1 Mother's Day card because Jason, her youngest son, died at the age of 39. It was so tragic. He was the son that always made a fuss over Mother's Day, handcrafting them as a little kid and then standing for an hour at the drugstore looking for the perfect card when he was a teenager. So Mary was thinking, I got to get my mind off of this. So she decided to dive into drudgery, to clean out that basement closet that had been collecting things for years. She got down there and she put her hand into an old cardboard box, and what she pulled out was an envelope addressed to the local newspaper that had long gone away in a child's handwriting. She plopped down on the floor and she opened it up, and her heart leapt because it was an essay form. My mother is the best mom because, and she couldn't wait to see who wrote this. She looked down. It was Jason,
the son who had passed
age
away.
12. And she realized that she was getting her Mother's Day card from Jason after all.
Oh, wow. All right. Now, this book, Godwinks for Moms, you know what's going to have to come next.
Oh, I know,
Godwinks for Dads. Godwinks for Dads.
That'll be the 14th one.
Yeah. All right. Look so forward to this book. Such a great, obvious, easy gift to give, right, for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And then by next year, hopefully, we'll have the Father's Day gift with the Godwinks
of
for
course.
Dads. It is so delightful to see you two again.
Thank
I love when you come
you.
to town and
We
just
always
spread joy
love
and
seeing
leave
you.
a drop of Godwink joy in Houston.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
As we said, it's a perfect Mother's Day gift. Bundle it with some chocolate. That gets even better. Godwinks for Moms, True Stories will be available on May 6th wherever books are sold, but you can pre-order now. For more information on the latest release and the rest of the series, visit greatdayhouston.com and we'll connect you.